Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Home Record Podcast. I am the Golden Glass-Eyed Greek. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Never mind, that was dumb.
Glassy eye,
No, that doesn't make any sense either.
four eye.
Yeah, that doesn't really work with the golden. Yeah. Right. I was trying to say, because I wear glasses now, but forget it. That was dumb. I'm the Golden Greek, anyway. The grumpy Greek.
The double G.
Yeah, that guy. That's me. Alex Arion, and I've been joined.
I've been joined. Are we done already? That was quick. That's what she said.
I'm being joined, as always, by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing Jolie wife, the lovely Malik.
Hello. Hi. I'm great. I realized that I look naked on video. So for our watchers, I have a top on. It's just
why'd you even give that away? You could have the imaginations of the viewers.
I don't want creeps imagining that.
Well, they're good anyway. So.
Oh, true. But yeah, no, I'm not naked. I have clothes.
You should have kept that going. Kept that bit going till the very end of the show. Talking
about my tan, like so you can see like the straps.
And then you would have seen, oh, she actually is wearing a top.
I have straps around my neck, but the microphone covers it. So yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, tan lines and all. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Well, no, because we talked about last week, we had our friend Conrad over.
Yes,
that was really fun.
Yeah,
so
Conrad's
thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you, Conrad, for coming to our house. That was great. He let me cook for him, and we just had like amazing conversations. Yeah. It was so fun.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we didn't just talk for the podcast, but that was a great conversation, and just like everything we talked about before, after, and the next day. Yeah. Really good guy. Absolutely a good guy. Wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to his show and you listened last week, listen to his show.
Yeah, he has a great podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Every week, he's got different types of guests on, different people looking at the world and everything going on in the world through different lenses and perspectives. And even when he does his solo shows, like those are awesome because I always end up coming away being like, I never thought of that. I never thought to look at something from that lens or look at it from that perspective. So yeah, he's a very, very good dude.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to do great things.
And if you haven't read his book yet, buy it on Amazon and read it.
Yeah, we put the links for all that stuff in our show notes with him last week.
Yeah, so go find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also last week we talked about the previous week I went to the Nomad Retreat Center in Maine.
That's right.
Yes, and previous guest Adriana Devine, her and her friend Lindsay Tamposi put on this amazing weekend retreat for women, and I talked about that last week. But yeah, that was just so wonderful. And Addie has been talking about doing something else, putting on some more, maybe like another, like a reunion one before Christmas or something. It was like, that'd be fun. So yeah. And so
I didn't know that too, just right.
Because she just mentioned it. And then also I did a group hypnosis session with some of the ladies.
Can you talk about that a little? I mean, obviously you don't want to get too detailed, but just speak a little to that, because when you first mentioned that to me, I thought it didn't make sense to me. How can you do a group hypnosis? Because I thought everybody had to go in and out of a hypnosis differently. But yeah, can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was going to do a group hypnosis session at the retreat on the last day, but we kind of just had our own pace with everything. So by the time I was able to do it, people were already leaving. They had to go. So I wasn't able to do it. And I said, well, let's do it on Zoom. So I put the offer out and some people are able to make it. So with a group hypnosis session, it is different because with a one-on-one, you can really custom tailor the individual's needs. Some people are more visual. Some can't really see anything, but they just know it, or they experience it in a different way. Maybe they feel or hear.
Okay.
It's different for everyone. So one-on-one, I try to find out how they imagine things. So I can tailor that induction and the session.
Induction, that's the process.
To get you into hypnosis. Yes, thank you.
Got it.
so that way I can make it as customized for them as possible to give them the best experience and hopefully have an experience. With group, it's a little bit different. So this group I was going into, they all meditate. So they're kind of already, and they're open to it more. But it's still one of those things, like you're not customizing it for them per se. You're just trying to do a more broader thing.
Now, for somebody that's maybe never been hypnotized or is kind of on the fence about it and they wanted to try it, is their first experience being a group hypnosis experience? Is that a good first experience to have?
It depends on the person.
Okay, so it's not like there's any.
It depends, because I think most people doing a group hypnosis will have an experience, but then there are people that just have a harder time and they need that customization for them to make it work. So somebody might do it, well, it didn't work. Well, maybe because you just need more one-on-one, having somebody tailor what you need so it will work for you. Also, people have to be open and willing to trust the information. That's a big thing. But so I did this group hypnosis. We did inner child. So with inner child, I've been saying it for a while, everybody should get in touch with their inner child. Hypnotherapy is a great way to do it. And I did this group session. It went really well. I got really good feedback. It seemed like it really helped people, which is the goal. Yeah. It's like, some people just find it interesting. A lot of people find it really healing. And that's the purpose, like to ignite inside of you that feeling, that energy, whether it's excitement, whether it's nostalgia, or it's forgiveness or healing. It's to get that going. So
I cried like a baby when I had my inner
child. I totally did too. And I'll tell people, like when I did my inner child, I was like, I went back, and where I grew up, there was my tree that was like my best friend. And I just started crying. I'm like, the tree is there. And I was just like so emotional. I'm like, wow. So yeah.
Yeah,
I missed my tree.
Well, I didn't have a tree experience, but yeah, it was emotional nonetheless.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and I'll share, like for me, like one of the things, because we'll ask, does your inner child have anything they want to let you know, a message they want to give you? And my inner child was like, it's okay. And just getting like, it's okay. Like all the things you feel guilty about, you know, or you feel bad about, and I could have done this better, or I shouldn't have done this, all those things. It's like, my inner child's forgiving me and being like, why are you being such a spaz about it? It's fine. Like, move on. and totally like, yeah, we're good. It's okay. And I'm like, thank you. Like crying. But like for me, it felt wonderful to have that. And it can be a really strong and powerful experience. So I will be doing another group hypnotherapy session on Wednesday, August 25th. At 6 p.m. on Zoom, and that's Eastern time. And so I've been putting out links for our podcast and for my own Twitter account. So it's for people, if you listen to the podcast, follow me on Twitter. If you subscribe to my newsletter, sign up, try it out, and test the waters if you're not so sure, and see how you feel. And if you think like it wasn't bad, but it didn't quite work for me, and you want to do one-on-one, you can do that too. Options are endless.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check that out.
But I'm really excited to be offering that. And it's free, because I just think like I want to give people that opportunity to work with their inner child.
There you go. Now, roughly how long does something like that take? Like a group session?
This was less than an hour. It really depends on how many people are doing it, because I go over in the beginning a rundown. So I go over information, because some people have never been hypnotized.
Sure.
And then I want to go over what we call a roadmap, which is just what we're doing. It's like, you know, I'm going to do an induction. We're going to go to a safe place. Like I just go over what we're doing so people have an idea, instead of being like, okay, what am I getting into? And then I ask if people have questions, because I don't want somebody to not be comfortable. Everyone has to be ready and willing to be hypnotized. So from there, you know, I just kind of go over my little list of what needs to be done, and then we move forward. So usually it takes just under an hour.
So an hour is just not like a huge time commitment.
No.
To try it.
No.
That's good. That's
and
cool.
Yeah, and I use my pendulum to see like, because I watch everyone and how they're doing, but I also use my pendulum in terms of like how much time do people need? Do we need more time? Because everyone's at a different pace. Yeah.
All right.
So
well, you don't have to give all the detail.
No, I don't care. I'm sharing.
No, I know. I mean, you don't have to give all the use my pension.
I do. I'm excited.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm just sharing how I do
Fair
it.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not giving away my 11 herbs and spices, you know?
What was that for? Was that KFC?
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it is you could steal everything I say and try to recreate it, but it doesn't mean you can do what I do.
No, I mean, that's, yeah. I think it's unique to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So just telling our hearers and watchers, if you're interested, the link is available and you can sign up.
The link is available
to sign up for the.
Where is that going? Just through your social media?
Yes, through I sent a link out for my newsletter subscribers, and I'm going to be. I've been putting continuous posts for the link to sign up for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Good deal.
Yeah.
Are you capping it at a certain amount of people?
Yes, I am putting a limit on how many people can attend because I don't want too many. And then if it fills up, then maybe I'll do another one.
Maybe you'll do another one.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it every once in a while.
Cool.
Yeah.
Help some folks out.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah. How about you? What's going on with you?
Not really anything groundbreaking or exciting. No, nothing really. Wish I had something exciting.
Well, you got the gym together.
Oh yeah, well that I guess. I guess we could talk about that. Yeah, I redid our home gym. We got rid of a bunch of stuff that we had down there in the basement. And I don't know if I've ever talked about it before. That was always my on the show. I mean, but that was always my thing when we first bought a house and we looked for a house. Like, I need to have a home gym because I don't want to go to the gym because people annoy me, they bug me. They always try to talk to me, ask me questions. I just want to get in and get out. I'm not a social butterfly, especially working out. So that was always my thing. Was I always wanted to have a home gym when I finally got a house.
Do you remember one time we were at the gym and it was empty and you were on a machine behind me and I was on a treadmill and the place was empty and this one guy literally comes up to the machine right next to mine?
I vaguely remember this.
And I just remember being like, seriously? There's like 30 treadmills? I don't think he realized my husband was right behind me.
He was probably didn't think that the guy behind you was your husband.
I remember turning back and looking at you.
Because usually couples are, next to each other or whatever. And what were you on a treadmill? And I think I was on like a stair.
Yeah, you were on the stair thing, yeah.
Because I remember that was like the only cardio that I liked to do was the stair. I didn't like it. That was the only one
I was going to say, did anyone really like it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh. So anyway, yeah, I hate going to the gym. I'm just not a fan of it. And it's mostly just because I don't like the social setting of it because it's not a place to work out, at least not in the gyms I've ever belonged to. It's a place to go and socialize.
Yeah.
Aggravates the hell out of me.
Ladies on the treadmill with their feet on the side, so they're not actually like moving. Their feet, it's going, and their feet are on the side that doesn't move while they chit chat.
You're talking about stories from a decade ago now.
True.
So I don't know how it is now.
True.
Maybe
our gym experience.
But yeah, me coming up because I started working out when I was with weights like 12 or 13 years old. I was into exercise before that. But anyway, I always wanted a home gym, and we got it. I slowly put it together. A machine here, I'll get a machine here. Didn't get it all at once, and then just slowly built this. I thought pretty decent home gym.
Yeah, it's a good gym.
And then just through the years, it gets kind of cluttery, and you're trying to
streamline.
Yeah, thank you. That's a perfect word for it. Yeah, try to streamline. So I ended up getting a new gym set up where it's a one big like Smith machine power rack, 2 weight stacks with cables. It's a pretty slick setup. It's got a built-in pull-up bar, dip row, like all the machines we had, all these different machines
Yeah,
are taking up
all in
like the
one.
entire basement. It's all in one, but it's not like one of those cheesy Amazon ones that you get for like $500-600. It was we paid a good amount of money for it, and it's heavy duty. It's like you see it in a commercial gym. Like it's a good piece of equipment. And I put it together. Oh my god, what a nightmare that was.
Goodness.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah. I mean, like I said, great piece of equipment. It's now that it's together and working, and it's heavy duty as all hell.
And heavy.
Yes, and heavy. I think the shipping weight was like
1,000 pounds.
It was over 1,000 pounds, like 1,600 pounds, I think, total. It came in 2 big crates on pallets, and but yeah, no, just putting it together was. I thought it would take me 2 days. It took me almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it was like a week, I think.
Was it a week?
Yeah, it was a week.
Why did I think it took 2 weeks? Whatever. No, probably because I didn't use it right away. That's why. But yeah, no, it took like, you go on the website to look for reviews and things. You look to try to find instructional videos and things like that. And everything I saw, everybody said, oh, it takes about between 8 and 9 hours to do. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to devote a full solid 8-9 hours uninterrupted on it. I figured it'll take me 3-4 days, probably tops. And yeah, no, a lot longer than that. But it was
they do not make it easy.
They don't make it easy. Yeah, it's just the instructions that come with these things. You'd think for a machine like this, it would be drawn clearer.
Everything would be labeled as to what it is.
Pieces and parts would be labeled, not just here. The first 4 pages of this manual are in really small type. Here's all the different pieces, but it doesn't show you a picture of what the pieces. You're just expected to know that this is what this is.
It gives it a number and a name, but it doesn't show you what it is to match it.
So it was incredibly difficult. Fortunately, I was able to find 2 videos on YouTube showing how to showing how to put it together. And one of them was 2 gentlemen from South Africa. So the accent was kind of cool, just listening to that. And the other one was another guy, just some dude, and I don't know where, but somewhere in the States, I believe. And they were able to show just different parts of the process, I guess, the steps, putting it together, how to do it. They were able to show the things that the manual, the guide, whatever, was very unclear about. So,
but they left things out too.
But they left things out too. So it was kind of one of those, which I get. If it takes hours to put this thing together, you're gonna be able to show everything. But like this one guy who was showing like step by step, literally, like he's filming himself. He'd stop, he'd explain whatever he's doing next, and this was giving me a hard time. I had to do this, which is helpful. But then I'm like, okay, cool. Now he's gonna get to the part where I'm stuck. And then he'll, how they do the thing in the videos where they fast forward and you see like the time lapse video where they go like super fast, and I'm just like, the part I wanted to see is going 9 million miles an hour, and I don't know what he just did.
It was like putting a puzzle together, trying to figure it out.
It was, and then I get everything all done. I get all the working pieces all done. And then it comes with like this, like you see those, I think they're called shields, where they shield like the weight stack, but it's got like the logo with the machine and the company.
Yeah, it's like a cover kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like a heavy duty, like hard kind of thing. Going to put those in at the end, and the holes don't line up with where they're supposed to be drilled into.
Not at all. Not at all. It was awful.
Like, this is not my error. This is all put together, everything's working, functioning properly. These holes just don't line up. They're not measured correctly. Whoever did this didn't cut it right or drill it right. But at that point, it's like, you know what? I'm going to have it hang on with 2 screws instead of 4 is what it is.
You do what you can do. It works.
So anyway, yeah, that was that. Yeah, so I
built a gym.
Built a home gym. A streamlined home gym, because I had already built one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what I've been up to. And I actually get the kiddos working out too.
Yeah.
Not with weights yet, but we're working. while exercising.
I know using that machine was so weird, going from like free weights to the machine.
Well, I mean, this is still, I guess it's not really free weights because yeah, the Smith machine, it's pretty much doesn't know it's an Olympic bar that's it's connected to two vertical posts.
No, I'm saying
they're
using
guides.
the free weights
right.
that I did with benching and
yeah, but that's what I mean. So
yeah.
I mean, you're still using weight. It's just
it's like
you're not
steadier.
But that's the thing. So there's good and bad. Just like anything, there's pros and cons to using this type of a machine. Pros, it's safer. You can probably push a little bit more weight. Using a little more weight just because now your stabilizer muscles are all taken out of movements. For example, like a bench press. You do a bench press, you're going up and down. You're laying on your back, you're moving the bar up and down, but you have to keep it steady. You're keeping it, from going up and down. You're keeping it steady, so it's not wobbling and this and that. On this, you don't have to worry about the wobble. You just got to push it up and let it lower down.
But it's weird. Like the first time doing it, that's all I'm saying. It's weird.
Yeah, I guess weird. You could say so. I don't know. I've used Smith machines before, so it was okay.
But I didn't.
No, fair enough. Yeah, but it's fun. So yeah, got the kiddos working out and
good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
But that's really it. Aside from that, I wasn't even going to mention. I just went on like a 12-minute.
That's okay. Well, to go on another rant, if you will.
Another rant.
Yeah. You sent me something today, and I was like, "We need to talk about it on the show."
You care to? You want to get into this? I mean, this might honestly. I'm gonna give a little bit of a heads up. This might bore some people because, especially with just society now, if you're
they may not care,
may not care, may not realize the ramifications of something like this. May say, "Well, if you got nothing to hide, then you got nothing to worry about," which is exactly what they're counting on when they do this kind of stuff.
Do you want me to read the text that you sent me?
Let me see it first, because I don't remember what I said to you. Okay, yeah, I guess you can read that.
So Alex texted me and said he just saw that Apple is now going to start scanning people's photos from their phones under the guise of searching for evidence of child abuse. Privacy is dead. And then he sent me the article and the information.
Yes. Yeah, they're scanning. So Apple is scanning just US for now.
They unveiled plans
for images of child sexual abuse. That's what it's. And of course, you look at that headline and you're like, oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Well, reading the article, what I felt like is it's going to make people feel really torn because on one hand, yes, you want to stop that kind of stuff. But on the other, it's opening a giant can of worms to invade people's privacy. And at what point does that stop? They say they're looking for that, but okay, prove that that's all there is. And that's what other people can, like, who else can get this and search our stuff?
Yeah, well, that's where this is a very controversial topic. And Apple actually, I think it was back in, let's say it was 2012 or 2013. I could be wrong on the year, but they were in a similar. No, it wasn't really similar, but they were in the headlines for something related to privacy and security.
Was there was like a shooting? Yeah, there was a shooting.
Yes, and the FBI at the time, I believe Obama was president, and at the time, James Comey, I think, was the director of the FBI, and he was trying to get Apple to unlock one of the alleged shooters' iPhones to see whatever, to get information, whatever. And Apple was refusing to do it. And it was very controversial at the time. I remember at the time I was actually in college, and I was going to school for cybersecurity, this kind of stuff, and I had to actually write a paper about the case and what was going on and get my viewpoints on it. And it was kind of one of those where, like, yeah, you can see why the government wanted it. You can see that, but at the same time, with Apple at the time was saying, well, our whole thing is we promise our customer security and encryption, and if we crack this and show you how to crack it, then that's gone. They don't have it. so we can't do it. And it was a big deal. I remember went to court and everything, and actually Apple ended up winning in the end. And I think the FBI got it cracked by some private security firm, so somebody was able to crack the phone or whatever. But anyhow, Apple didn't cave at the time. So it's like, oh, cool, great, you know. But now they're doing this scanning people's iPhones for, and again, like I said, the headline says Apple to scan US iPhones for images of child sexual abuse. It's in the Associated Press today. It's on apnews.com. Actually, excuse me, was it today or yesterday? Yeah, anyway.
Today.
It was today. Okay. August the 6th, 2021. So yeah, you look at that headline, you go, well, okay, great. And when you, if that's all it was, okay, great, yeah, of course. But how can we guarantee that that's what they're doing? You can't.
Yeah, and not just that,
they're now going to be looking at everybody's photographs that they send, according to this, that they send through their messaging app.
I'm going to read part of it. It says the tool designed to detect known images of child sexual abuse, called quote unquote neural hash, will scan images before they are uploaded to iCloud. If it finds a match, the image will be reviewed by a human. If child pornography is confirmed, the user's account will be disabled and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children notified. And then it says separately, Apple plans to scan users' encrypted messages for sexually explicit content as a child safety measure, which also alarmed privacy advocates. So if you're saying something sexually explicit, it's very unclear. Like, if I send you a message, am I going to get flagged?
According to this, if you read that wording exactly, it says for sexually explicit content. And it says as a child safety measure. It doesn't say sexually explicit content involving children.
So
it just
don't text
content.
Anyone Cardi B lyrics.
So like dick pics, the guys, I guess that's a thing. Guys send girls dick, you're done. you're done.
You're labeled, you're flagged.
That's it.
But
not, yeah, like you said, Cardi B lyrics, anything even remotely that this program would pick up, you're flagged now. And not only are you flagged, but now a human is going to look at your messages, your photos, your whatever you have, to see if they can find anything.
And who are these humans? Who are they to determine? You know, like in the article, it talks about like, oh, if you're worried about like, you know, taking pictures of your kids taking their first bath or something, because the way they explained it, it's like,
that's true. That's true.
It's not images. It's a mathematical fingerprint that represents the images. What the fuck does that mean?
I think it's, I can tell you again, from going to school, learning about a lot of this stuff, it's hard.
But I'm just saying, like,
it's hard to say what you can. Again, this is the Associated Press. They're this is them
sharing the story.
This deal, and they're not going to give away their proprietary technology. They're not going to give that away.
No, but what I'm saying though is, and whether this is really real or not, or just something to get people fired up, who knows? Is it a distraction?
No,
I think it's,
it's in line with everything else that's happening in the world today.
I know, I'm just bringing up these points.
Sure.
Someone in the article, somebody named Matthew Green, a top cryptography researcher at Johns Hopkins University, warned that the system could be used to frame innocent people by sending them seemingly innocuous images designed to trigger matches for child pornography. That could fool Apple's algorithm and alert law enforcement.
Yep, that's the big thing right there, is that with this type of technology, once they're in and they're able to see your stuff and they're able to go in and look at it, there is no stopping anybody from inserting stuff into your device. So it's not science fiction anymore. It's not conspiracy theory anymore. They can do it if they want to. And if you are a target for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. It could just be hey, let's fuck with a random person night at Apple on Friday.
Yeah.
And hey, we're gonna just put pictures on just 15 random people, whatever. It's cool. We don't know who the fuck they are. We don't care. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, so it could just be that, and you could be targeting people, not targeting, but just randomly screwing somebody over and sending them explicit stuff or something that may flag them as explicit and get them investigated or whatever.
And then the article brings up like your own government could do that to you because it's a third party finding it. So it's not like they did it and we're like, hey, we found this. It's a third party finding it. So it's just like.
And the fact that you mentioned the government. So the fact that Apple is even doing this and will be sharing anything they find with authorities, which bravo, right? But the fact that this is even something that's going on, you know that now if governments know that they're doing this, they're willing to do this, that they're going to do whatever, and they'll get tax breaks, they'll get whatever, you know, whatever they need.
Yeah.
And it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We know how that works. So now you're going to see political enemies, maybe journalists who write unfavorable pieces or cover politicians unfairly or unfavorably. You're going to see random Joe Q citizen who doesn't want to comply with certain restrictions or
you don't want
not restrictions or mandates or whatever else is going on. It's opened up a whole can of worms. Now you have a tool to go after your enemy. Whoever you deem as your enemy. And it's not just one person, it could be a whole group of people, you know, whatever. This is the world we're in now. This is what's happening. That is a line that should have never been crossed.
No, it's a slippery slope. And
that's why. But again, it's all sorry to cut you off. Sorry, but it's again, anybody listening is like, but they're stopping child pornography, they're stopping child sexual abuse, they're stopping. Are they? You don't think that they could stop that right now? You don't think they have the technology and know about child sex trafficking rings? You don't think that human trafficking rings and those type of things have already been discovered, that they don't know where most of that stuff is, that they don't crack down on that on their own? Or is it that maybe if you believe certain conspiracy theories, maybe this is actually going to protect some of these people that are involved in this kind of stuff too? If you believe these, you know, those conspiracy theories that you hear and read about and that have been so popular over the past few years, is this maybe going to start protecting people and instead deflecting to their enemies, saying their enemies are doing things that maybe they're doing and they're getting to be protected by it because, hey, and now whoever's in political power, whoever's in control, they make the rules, right? They're going to turn the powers that they have on their enemies. That's what I think. That's where I see this going.
And my point is that I was trying to say it's a slippery slope because you look at this and it always comes under the guise of, you know, protecting the children. It's like, think of the children, you know, like we got to protect those kids, and that's great. So it's like it's almost like driven to get people to think like, I'm giving up my freedoms, but it's to save children. If I don't go along with it, I'm a monster. Exactly. But if I do, I give up my freedom. So it's like, what choice? The average person is in this position of like, I don't want kids getting hurt, but I also don't want to give up my freedom. And then is that selfish of me?
Your right to privacy.
Yep. But no, so talking to somebody today, at what point do we stop giving up our liberties and freedoms? What point do we finally say enough is enough? And I've said it to other people before. I can't remember if I said it last week, but if everyone just said no, if everyone just said, this is bullshit, I'm not doing it, I'm not complying, fuck you, maybe not even having to put the fuck you, but think of how much shit would stop. People would realize, oh no, we can't get away with it. They've already said no. And it's such a majority of people saying no, we can't even try because if we push, they'll shove. So it's like, you don't even have to get to that point. Just say no.
I believe it was Thomas Jefferson that said, when the people are afraid of the government, it is tyranny. When the government is afraid of the people, it is liberty. Guys, where the fuck did we go wrong? where did we go wrong? What?
I mean, was it Captain America Winter Soldier where they're talking about like, oh, give up your freedom, you know, for some security?
Yes, I think it was Iron Man. I think Iron Man was the one that was like, just give up your freedom for some security. Yeah, it was. Captain America was on the side of freedom and liberty. Tony Stark.
That's what I'm saying. It was the Winter Soldier because
no, it was the Civil War.
Okay. Oh, Civil War. Sorry, I get confused.
No, yeah, I thought you said Civil War. Yeah, whatever. No, anyway,
I said Captain.
This is what this conversation devolved, and now we're going to Marvel.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying to bring up the point though. It's been thrown in people's faces.
Yeah.
That people are so willing to give up their freedom
for some security. And I think it Benjamin Franklin said, if you're willing to give up your freedom and security for some safety, you deserve neither. Something, I think that was the quote, something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are some people nowadays willing to give up their freedom for a cheeseburger. You know, it's just like they don't care.
This is but again, it's all by design. We talk about it.
I know, but I'm just saying that it's like if everyone just stood up and said, no, enough is enough. Like I said to Alex with this, okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's go get some flip phones that are pay as you go.
Well, that's the thing. We don't just want to talk about the problem. Well, what's the solution? Well, the solution is eliminate the iPhone.
Get rid of your iPhone.
Or don't do the update that is going to have this patch or whatever they're doing in it. Just don't download, keep the oldest update. I mean,
get an old camera with film and develop your own film.
If you're for pictures and stuff like that. And again, the old, before we even get into that, the old argument of, well, if you have nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. That is the exact thing that they are counting on you to say to give up even more.
I didn't do anything wrong. I have nothing to hide. And then you gotta
have these arguments all the time.
Then you realize it's like I can do absolutely nothing wrong and somebody else can do something to make it look like I did.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Even though it's like I'm a good person, I'm not doing anything bad. It's like somebody can set it up and we just talked about it. With this issue.
With technology and this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And that's scary.
It is. So
and
the easiest solution, getting back to that again, get rid of it. If you need it, if you feel like you need it, you still want to use it. I mean, because let's be honest, who really needs their phone? Granted, there are exceptions, there are jobs.
It's a super convenience.
There are exactly, but do you really need it? Try putting it down for couple hours a day or for one day a week. Just put your phone down for like 2 hours, walk away from it, leave the house, go outside without your phone, see what happens. It's actually pretty
It was great. At the retreat, once I would check in with you guys and then I check in with my family and make sure everyone's good. And then I left my phone. I put it away. I was like, I didn't take pictures because I was like, oh, I want to have my camera and take pictures. But I was like, no, I'm here to enjoy this. I don't want to carry my phone. I don't want to be attached to it. So the majority of the time, it was away. It was in my room, in my bag.
How'd that feel? Pretty good.
It was great because I knew you guys were good. So it was like, I don't need my phone.
There you go.
And fabulous.
So if you're somebody that doesn't actually need your phone for business, for you're a stock trader or something, whatever. There are people that do all their work, everything on their phone. There are those folks, for sure. Just be aware that this is coming because I don't know if it's something that is being covered widely or not. I only saw that AP article. But be aware that it is coming if you haven't heard about it yet. That's something that's happening. So another one of your privacies and your right to privacy essentially is pretty much gone on the digital scale anyway, if you have an iPhone. And you know that this is just the first step because if Apple's going to do this, everyone else is going to follow suit.
People follow suit.
They're all going to follow suit. It's going to become like a uniform kind of thing.
Get a flip phone that doesn't take pictures. Just get like a track phone or something.
Well, that's the thing. It's
so that way you still have a phone. If there's an emergency, you can call.
Sure. I mean, those are, you want, so like, I don't like just talk about the problem. I like to talk about coming up with solutions.
Some
ideas, whether or not that they're actually they'll work or not. But I like to at least have some thoughts of ideas and at least get the ball rolling in solutions and finding solutions, not just complaining, because you don't get anywhere complaining and bitching about it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able to change it. they made that decision. You think they care? They've got so many people now don't care.
But that's the thing, we need to care. So care. Right. I think most of our listeners do,
but they're not going to change their mind. Yeah. It's very, very unlikely that that's going to happen. So,
and I just want to I brought up, not to cut you off now, but I brought up if everyone just stands up and says no. A lot of the people who listen to our show, who we talk to on social media, on Twitter, they're doing that. They've been doing that. And props to all you who have been doing that and are doing that, because that's what everyone needs to do. And you guys are the ones who really took a lot of balls to do that. And so good for you. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So sorry.
That's okay. We'll eventually get through this. Maybe. So yeah, you can get rid of your phone. That's a solution.
Get a digital camera.
Get rid
of Macs.
Get rid, because it's not just coming through the phone, it's coming through the watches. If you have an iWatch, yeah. It's also
the computers.
Computers as well, yeah. So if you have a Mac, it's an update that's going to go through there as well. I mean,
what if you upload directly to a hard drive?
Upload what?
Your photos from a camera directly to a hard drive. It's through your computer though, would it? Because it says it's got to go through the cloud.
What do you mean?
It said that
from a digital camera to your.
So I plug my camera, digital camera into the computer, and I have my hard drive.
Yeah.
Because we store pictures on a hard drive.
I don't think that they'd be able to do that. And you have to.
Yeah, because it said it has to go through the cloud.
It has to go through their cloud. I believe that's what.
Which I don't trust. I've never used the cloud.
I've never used their iCloud either, but. From what I understand with the phones, they're going to be doing it through the messaging. That's the way I understood it.
So don't text pictures to anybody.
That's why I said dick pics. Yeah. Sorry, guys, you're going to get flagged. Most likely. Or maybe you won't. But that's, but yeah, get rid of your phone. Stop using Apple for now until
don't
Android
get the update at least.
Goes and does it, or don't get the update at least. Just stick with whatever the latest update is, and don't get the one that says, "Hey, this is where this is coming," because it didn't say in the article which update. Just said in the future update. It didn't give really a timetable. So.
And I think they have to put in that it does that in the information, but you got to read those 500 pages. You got to,
You gotta unmute my microphone.
My hand hit it. I apologize.
I'm sitting here talking about it.
It was 2 seconds. My bad. No, but yeah, you have to just read the thing that they make you check off before every update.
Yeah, read through it.
I do.
I do too. I always do, just to see what's in this, what's it gonna fix, what's it gonna break.
Yeah. Some of it's just they're covering their butt with stuff, and it's okay, that's fine.
Of course.
But it's trying to find that the fine print in between.
Fine print.
The fine print that they hope you just pass over.
Yeah. And speaking of that, that's a hell of a segue right there into the next thing that I wanted to just kind of briefly touch upon. I don't want to bore people too much with all this kind of stuff. I know your rights, your privacy, things that we agree to. But I got this the other day. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. It wasn't the other day. This was probably a month or so ago.
Yeah.
But it is where we live, we have Comcast or Xfinity, and this is they send this out in their bills. I think they send it out once or twice a year, and it's just their Xfinity residential services agreement. How many people get how many people get a paper bill anymore? I don't know. I know most people go paperless now.
If I have a choice, I want paper bill. I want those tangible things.
Exactly. And I like to get these kind of things that they do still have to send out to you. Because honestly, who's going to sit and look at this small print on a computer screen? Probably nobody. Who's going to even look and see when they log in to pay their bill or whatever? Who's even going to look to see this and look at it? They're going to click the box that says, yeah, I saw it. Okay. And move on. But I recommend that people actually read these things, because there's a lot of stuff in there that I was pretty surprised to find.
Oh, do tell.
So, and I'm going to read some of these, and people listening might be like, okay, who cares? Whatever. Never affect me. Won't matter. Well, I'm going to go through just some. And again, this is for our area. This is, I believe, is covering Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire, and Maine. We are in New Hampshire. So your hand's going to hit that button again.
I'm sorry.
And you're going to mute
I'm
me.
going to
So
pull away.
stop. I'm going to have to heavily edit this episode.
My apologies.
So I'm looking through here, and I did read through all of it. I'm just going to try to find some of the stuff that I thought was pretty crazy. You have, oh, hold on. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to probably have to heavily edit this. So it goes through essentially, you open this thing up, and you've got your Xfinity Residential Services Agreement. It goes through all this stuff. Additional terms, it goes through your charges and billings. It kind of tells you how they come up with their fees and everything, but not really. Changes to pricing, charges, and fees. Certain pricing, charges, and fees may change at any time and from time to time. I thought that was an interesting line. No kidding. It's funny because you notice like every year, if you pay attention to these kind of things, like for us, we have internet. That's all we have. And we lease our modem from them. So we don't own it, it's theirs. And it started out, geez, years ago it was like $6. And then it went up to $8. And then it went up to $10. When it hit $10, there was a fury. There was people everywhere, especially around here, who were really upset. Well, now it's up to $14.95 a month to rent a modem.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got any notice of that. That was never in any bill because I read them all. I look at everything. I'm one of those. Just one month, I'm like, why is the bill all of a sudden $5 more? Because it jumped up from $10 to $14.95. Yeah. Well, apparently they can do that anytime.
They can do
it's
whatever
right here.
they want.
They can essentially do whatever they want.
My parents, when they had Comcast, signed, got a new thing like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do this, these channels and all this. And they gave them a price. And then the following month, it was more money. And they called and they're like, wait a minute, this was the price we were given. We got a contract for a year. And they're like, oh, well, the price increased. She's like, but we made an agreement. Oh, yeah, we can do what we want.
And it's true. It's all right here.
Because you agreed to it.
You agreed
by using their services.
When you even those contracts you signed, you read those too. Our fees are not interest or penalties. We expect you to pay amounts due on a timely basis, and we do not extend credit to customers. Any fees, charges, and assessments due to late payment or non-payment will be difficult to calculate or predict, and our liquidated damages intended to be a reasonable estimate of our costs resulting from late payments and non-payments. We may charge fees for suspension or disconnection. We may charge fees to reconnect services. We may charge you collection costs. We may use a collection agency or attorney to collect money you owe. I'll pay your bill. I guess I can't really give too much.
But if they keep raising the price, then people won't be able to pay their bill.
Yep. Contact us with billing questions or disputes. We may require a refundable deposit. But like there's just all this stuff in here. Like what? Okay, now this is the one that really got me. Changes to services, rates, charges, and this agreement. We reserve the right to change the services, rates, and charges anytime with or without notice to you, the extent permitted by applicable law. So whatever the law says they can do,
they'll do that.
Raise it to that, whatever. And if there is no law, then I guess they can do whatever they want because it doesn't really say. For example, we may delete or change content, programming, functionality, features, rate limitations, available speeds, or Xfinity equipment. So they just say, well, we're not, you know what, we were giving you 100 megabit download speed, but fuck you.
We're going to bring it down to 30.
We're dropping it to 80, which that can actually be a big deal if you're into, what the internet speeds are for. If we provide notice of such a change, it will be in accordance with Section 4B, which is another section of this agreement. Anyway, you can learn about that, plan in your area. And I got to say, with Comcast, they did say that they were going to start charging for data in our area. So any internet data that you use, they were going to start charging if you went over a certain amount.
Which was like a tiny amount.
No, it would give you,
small.
well, the thing is, it wasn't small, but it's easy to hit that limit in like a week or two if you stream.
Yeah.
Like if you stream TV or movies.
Which most people do.
Yeah, exactly. Most people do. And so that is something that got such a backlash in this area anyway, that Comcast said, okay, well, all right, we're not going to do it. They gave the notice back in February of this year. And then in May, they said, because it was supposed to begin in June this year. And back in May, they got such a backlash of so many people complaining to them that they said, we'll hold off until early 2022. So it's coming.
I have to say, you look at Comcast, like they bought Universal, they buy all this stuff. They have plenty of money. They can't let people like you have the data that they have and continue that.
They'll give you, if anybody from Comcast listens to this episode, I doubt they will, but they will come out with some kind of a song and dance statement. Well, we're always updating our network to provide the best speeds and the best service.
Do you know what this is, honey?
What?
This is the tiniest violin playing for them.
Oh, okay.
Because you said they'll give a song and dance, like, don't care.
They'll give you something that just sounds like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. But it's not, it's bullshit. And I can tell you that from personal experience. That's all you need to know. They are bullshit. They are lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, they are lying to you. They own all Xfinity equipment. So, well, that's fine. They do. But with that, that's where they charge you the rental fees for every cable box you rent if you have cable with them, for the modem. They charge you those things. So there was a couple of other things I wanted to go over
that were quick. Really awful.
Yeah.
Is it about the equipment?
Oh, the right to sue in small claims court. Notwithstanding anything in this arbitration provision to the contrary, either you or we may elect to have a dispute heard in a small claims court in the area where you receive services from us, if the claim underlying the dispute is not aggregated with the claim of any other person, and if the amount in controversy is properly within the jurisdiction of the small claims court. Now, then they go down and they talk about, and I gotta find the exact thing. They have a right to opt out. So if you don't want to have arbitration, you may decline within 30 days, this is crazy. This one right here. If you do not wish to arbitrate disputes, you may decline to have your disputes with us arbitrated by notifying us within 30 days of your first service activation. Now, if you think about that, if you have some kind of an issue with Comcast, a monetary issue, whatever the case may be, and you want to decline having arbitration, you want to like sue them or whatever. This is how I'm understanding this. I may be wrong. You have to do it by notifying them within writing within 30 days of your first service activation. Now, how many people do you know that have a problem that's going to require a lawsuit or anything like that within the first 30 days of service activation? That's like the most unrealistic thing that they have, but that's their out.
Yeah.
We told you in our services agreement that you agreed to because you paid your monthly bill and you take our services. So it's like, what? It just makes no sense. Arbitral fees and costs, your claim, there's another part. Oh, our intellectual property rights. All services, information, documents, materials, firmware, and software we provide are protected by trademark, copyright, patent, and other intellectual property laws and international treaty provisions. You are granted a revocable license to use our firmware and software in object code form without making any modification thereto, strictly in accordance with this agreement. You have no other license to use firmware or software embedded in or used to provide the services. You must not take any action. Okay, that
wasn't the one you were thinking of.
That wasn't the one I was thinking of, but there was another part. I can't find it. Damn it. Consent to communications from Comcast. Oh, you agree that Comcast or third parties acting on Comcast's behalf may call or text you at any telephone number you provide to Comcast or that Comcast issues to you and may do so for any purpose relating to your account and or the services to which you subscribe. You expressly consent to receive such calls and texts and agree that these calls and texts are not unsolicited. You understand and acknowledge these calls and texts may entail the use of an automatic telephone dial system and or artificial or pre-recorded messages. So basically, they call you whenever they want. Cool. Under the guise of having something to do with your account. Information provided to third parties. We are not responsible for any information provided by you to third parties. Okay, that's, where the fuck was that thing?
Do you want me to look quick?
Son of a bitch. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look really quick because it was like messed up.
So this is the really messed up part that I was like, what? Okay, this section 16, monitoring and recording. So make it this what you will. You agree that we and our agents, who the fuck are their agents, number one? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's their agents? May monitor and record any telephone calls or other voice communications, data, or images transmitted between one, us and our agents. Again, who are your agents? But okay, fine. You want to monitor the phone call when I call them to the office. Fair enough. Yeah. And two, you, your agents, any user of your services, your customer equipment, or any user of any phone numbers associated with your account.
So they can monitor anything that you have with them. They can monitor that.
Yeah. You know those fun voice remotes they have where you can say what you want to watch and it pulls it up on it?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's only on when you're pushing the little button? I'm just
They put it in there. They can monitor their equipment. So you might not be pushing the button and using it, but it's still monitoring you.
Everything you do nowadays, ladies and germs listening, ladies and gentlemen, you are being monitored 24/7. Most of our listeners know that. Most of our listeners realize that, but they're, like us, you just kind of forget about it because you go on with your day and you like the conveniences now that we have all grown accustomed to, that we've all slowly but surely been conditioned to accept and to expect. So we allow these type of things to go on. We do it willingly, and most people, in my experience, tell me if I'm wrong, most people don't even get this in the mail anymore. And chances are they're not reading it online. They're just clicking the accept box.
How many people throw it away when it comes in?
I didn't get to that part, but you're right. Those people that still get the mail, get hard copies of the mail, they don't even look at this stuff. This is like the filler that they heard, and they just throw it off to the side or throw it in their trash.
Yeah.
Don't look at this stuff.
So just be aware.
Be aware. Know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If these are intentionally long, they're intentionally boring.
And they use big words that you sometimes need a dictionary for.
I tell you what, you should also get intentional with what you're giving your freedoms, your rights, your privacy away to. Know what you're agreeing to when you agree to this stuff. Years and years ago, I got off of Facebook when I found out that Facebook owns everything you do on the platform. Any posts you write, any kind of thing that you post on there is their property.
Your pictures are then their property.
Everything. I went, all done. See you later. Bye-bye. Never look back.
I remember I deleted every picture that I put up, and then I deleted the account. Like I was like deleting everything. So it's deleted. And then, because I was like, well, if I close the account, will stuff still be there kind of in limbo so they can wait for me to come back? I was like, I don't want that. Who knows? Like if I delete it, if it really gets deleted with them, but who knows?
If nothing's ever really truly gone and deleted. We leave a digital fingerprint.
It was that
everywhere.
point of we made the decision that, okay, well, we don't want to do that. Pictures of our kids, like we don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing.
For people like hearing and watching, Instagram is owned by Facebook now. So
hasn't it always been?
It wasn't at first, and then Facebook bought it. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that if you're like, oh, well, I don't have Facebook, but you have an Instagram.
And again, social media is a great way to connect with people, and a great way to meet people and stuff. And we met great people through social media. But just know that with that good, there's a lot of bad too. There's a bad side to all this stuff. And again, I guess that's all perspective too. Some people may not think this is a big deal, may not care, and may just say, well, I got nothing to hide, I don't care. Great for now, until you do have something that maybe 2 years from now is not acceptable, which you've seen a lot of that in the last decade, where all this stuff from the past just all of a sudden comes to light and is no longer acceptable. So yeah, or maybe right now you're hunky-dory and life's all peaches and cream, but 10 years from now it may not be.
You never know what will bite you in the ass.
Exactly. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of all this stuff that's going on in the world.
Just know what you're giving away, know what you're agreeing to. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and I mean, now you think about it too, who's got time to look into any of this stuff? Who really wants to look at all, nobody thinks of it. And with everything, our attention being drawn in so many different ways, nobody's got time for any of this stuff. Nobody looks at it until it's too late most of the time. So just be aware. That's my public service message. And as far as any kind of a solution for that,
get
rid of Comcast, but there's nothing in our area where we live in most areas, there's no competition, there's no competitors anymore. It's all these corporations, like you said, Comcast bought NBC Universal. These corporations merge, they buy other, it's all slowly but surely becoming one thing.
I feel like make it as difficult as possible. If that is your only choice for internet, don't use the voice controlled remotes. Don't even get cable from them. Don't get phone from them. Just do like the bare minimum.
Yeah. And I know there's you need a home phone. There's other things you can do over the internet. So like for Comcast, I think there's was it Vonage? I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but I know that there's providers out there that can give you an affordable voice over internet protocol telephone service. But yeah, again, read the fine print.
Because they might be doing it too. You never know.
Always read everything, because you never know where it's going. And as far as like internet security and privacy, you can do a VPN, of course, but I don't know as far as that goes, if that would be anything that would help you with your telephone messaging app. They're still going to be able to know whose phone it came from. Doesn't matter if they or what country they know whose phone. So that's that. That's that for today. Do you got anything you want to add to any of this stuff, hon? And it was kind of not weird, but different for us.
Yeah, it's just like I want to talk about this because I think people need to be aware of it. And maybe like if you were somewhat aware, I hope people learn things, and maybe you can just tell other people, tell your friends, tell your family, like you are being spied on, you are being watched, and you are agreeing to it. And we just explained how.
Yeah, you have.
Who else knows what other products are out there? I mean, we talked in the past about like Alexa and Siri and all those things that can listen to you.
Sure.
We've talked about it before. Last week, Conrad mentioned, like is it social media or just like different things on your phone? It's like it's listening to you, maybe even reading your mind. Who knows? But
scary.
It is. So just be aware of it and try to take precautions.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I do, I always hear people talk about they have an ad will pop up for something they were just talking about. I don't have that happen to me. And I think it's because on my phone, I go to and I'll go to it right now. I go to the privacy. There's a privacy tab. I turn my location services off. They're never on. So they're not going to track me that way. Well, I'm sure they can if they wanted to,
but don't make it easy for them.
Don't make it easy for them, exactly. And then there's a tracking thing that is underneath location services now, and it has a tab when you click on there that says allow apps to request to track. Turn that on, because anytime you download a new app, it's going to ask you, can we track you? And they're not tracking like your location necessarily, but they're tracking your
what you do,
what you're doing online, your keystrokes. What are you looking at when you're on their app? And they're recording all that data. Don't make it easy for them. I turn all that off. And another thing you can do, which I don't know if this works for all providers or carriers, but if you go to your drop-down menu, or actually in the Apple, if you go to the cellular, when you're at home and you're on your Wi-Fi, I go to the cellular and I turn my cellular data off. I shut it off because you can still get phone calls. We have AT&T, so you can still get phone calls over the Wi-Fi. Again, I don't know if that works for other providers or not, but I turn my cellular off. And when I'm out of the house, unless I'm making a phone call, my cellular is off. So they're not really going to have a viable signal unless I'm on a Wi-Fi network. And I don't have any Wi-Fi network stored in my phone except for my home and like one or two places that I go to, other homes that allow me to use their Wi-Fi if I need to. That's it. That's really, I mean, you just make it harder for them because they can track you if the government's after you or something, they really want to find, they're going to get you. As long as you got this on you, they're going to find you. But don't make it easy for them. Don't make it easy for them. That's it. That's if you're going to have this, don't make it easy for them to track you.
That's all.
Only thing you can do at this point.
Yeah, know what you're signing.
Or get rid of them. Get rid of them altogether. But that's
it.
Yeah.
That's our next path.
Yeah. I mean, I'll hang on to this podcast and stuff. That'll be about it.
Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, just we can go over how people can find us.
We didn't do that at the start of the show.
We didn't.
Well, how can people find you first?
You can find me on Twitter @_Monique Giselle_. You can also find me on Etsy, Wonders by Monique, or you can go to my website, tarotbymonique.com, and there's even more stuff over there. And also, I'm working on my website, innerstandingshypnosis.com. It should be up in a few weeks. So
coming soon.
And then you can book your appointments and schedule with me.
There you go.
But in the meantime, if you want a hypnotherapy session, just reach out to me through Twitter, or you can email me, Monique@innerstandingshypnosis.com, and we'll leave that information for everybody.
There you go. So that'll be in the show notes.
Yeah.
And I'm on Twitter, the Alex Arion. Haven't been on there in a while. Don't know if I ever will go back or not. Not sure. And AlexArionFitness.com. Check that out too.
And you can find us.
As far as us,
the
podcast, the Homewrecker Podcast, we have social media, but only
Twitter.
And that is
@HomewreckerPod.
There you go. And we also have a website that you can visit.
Yes, homewreckerpodcast.com.
There you go. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe or follow button, whatever it is now, on whatever app. Follow us so you can get all the new episodes as they come out. That'd be great. We appreciate it. Gets our numbers up too. This is more visible.
You can find us.
Leave us a 5-star review.
Yes, please. We would appreciate
Stop talking over me.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to say you can find us on YouTube and Brighteon because we always forget that.
I was getting there.
I didn't know that. Our ESP is not working tonight.
Gosh. YouTube Radio. Subscribe. Follow us there too. Is that it?
That's it.
We covered it all?
I think so.
You sure?
I hope so.
We got it. Well, it's blowing in here. I'm sweating.
I know. It's warm.
All right. Well, until next time. Do we have a next time? Do we know what we're doing next time?
I don't know next time, but in a couple of weeks, my friend Carlene is going to be a guest, and we're going to talk about hypnotherapy.
Oh.
Yes, we have something awesome coming up that we're going to talk about.
All right.
But that's coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yes.
I just found out about it for the first time too.
I told you a while ago.
So,
you were sitting here at the table and I told you, and I was asking you, and you weren't paying attention.
No, I was probably reading the Xfinity Residential Services Agreement.
Probably.
That had my attention. Maybe.
Most likely.
All right then. Well, until next time, I am the Golden Greek, Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous.
Not topless.
Not topless.
Yeah, not topless. I'm trying to share that. Just because of the video.
Not topless. but hopefully toddlers later.
Woo!
My trophy wife, the lovely Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker Podcast.